You guys know yesterday we were indoors, but with that, I'll just open it up.
What have you seen lately from Shamari?
Yeah, listen, we're kind of force feeding him a lot of things. You probably noticed he's in a lot of spots there. He has kind of earned it and deserved it the way he's played in training camp. I think the veterans have some confidence in him. You know, we'll see how it progresses. You've got trying to get some other guys healthy and back, and then we'll see where all the moving parts go. But for right now, listen, he's played safety, he's played some nickel, he's played some dime, and that's good to see for a young guy. You know, that early.
How often do you load up a rookie?
Yeah, not typically. I'm trying to, going back to even when Trent a year ago, we didn't play him at nickel right away because he wanted to kind of get settled. Then he got hurt and he came back, but he didn't get force fed it. LJ, I'm trying to remember LJ's first year. You know, if I remember correctly, he played corner. He got hurt too, and when he came back, we put him at nickel. So he's been the one. Shamari's probably been the one guy. Honey Badger did it when we first got here, but he was a veteran. You know, he played them all. But it's a real impressive thing for him to, to have the confidence in people that he can play in a bunch of different positions.
Coach Merritt had mentioned that you guys are trying to figure out who's going to be that third cornerback for you between Watson and Williams. Looks like Williams might have a leg up now. Just where do you?
Yeah, I don't know that I'm not. It goes like that. You know, it seems it went like that today. You know, play by play. But that's kind of been their MO. I mean, the two of them kind of battled back all last year, and we rotated them in some. We may still do the same thing. We'll see once we get to the 53 and know who we have and who's healthy. Hopefully get through this game healthy and then try to put it together for something against Detroit.
Coach, what do you expect, or what do you want to see this weekend when you have your final game?
Yeah.
And then the cuts are different. It's just one big slice. So what is it you want to see?
Big cuts. Well, listen, I'm hopeful for all of the guys. The guys that we, I'll talk about the guys that we don't keep, that play well enough that something happens for them later on down the road. I mean, this is a real business. It's real life for these guys, and it's a job, right? Nobody likes to lose their job. So hopefully the guys that don't make it, because you can't keep everybody, have an opportunity somewhere else. That's always the hope, because we got some really good guys here and some good football players that maybe just numbers-wise we can't keep. And for the guys that are going to be here, number one, be healthy. Number two, do the fundamental things right. We got to continue to do that. I think the tackling's been okay. I'd like things to get faster and more violent as we get closer to a real game. We got a heck of a challenge coming in here. September 7th?
Yes.
Yeah. And we need to be ready for that. So we'll use this game to get ready for that opener.
What's the conversation like as far as, between you and Colin, Andy, and Brett, when you've got the defensive line group that's got so many questions, right?
Yeah.
Since Chris isn't here, Turk is still getting back, you've got some other guys banging up the seasoning. Is that one of the tougher groups to figure out right now?
Yeah, it is, because you're always looking for continuity, right? And continuity comes with reps and being around each other and together, and we haven't had that. A lot of moving pieces right now, but and sometimes we've talked about this before. Sometimes it takes your first quarter of the season to figure out who you are and what you have. Now along the way, you hope you're winning games, but it might take us, a little while to figure all that out.
Was there a guy from that group that's taken a step that maybe you weren't expecting possibly from the time camp started?
Yeah, I honestly can't say that. Danny Shelton sticks out because I know what he did with his weight and how prepared he got himself. So, but that's back at the beginning of training camp. But all those guys have kind of been in there grinding away. Been some good plays and some not so good plays, and somewhere down the road he'll have to make a decision on that crew.
What about Felix?
Felix is coming along well. I saw him. He went back in, but he got dinged something. I'm not sure what happened. We haven't got together with Rick, so we don't really know on that right now. But I think he's progressed pretty well. I mean, there was a time there when he had to play a lot of catch up because of all the time he missed in the OTAs. I think he got himself caught up. Still little things you can tell there that he's not used to, or it takes a little bit of thinking. And hopefully when the thinking gets less and the fast playing gets more, he becomes more of a player for us.
You mentioned Danny. What have you seen from him compared to
Well, I guess when I was saying that, because I really can't, all those guys kind of are about right in the middle there, but I did like the fact that Danny's an intelligent football player. He's also, which you probably don't see, is he's also a really good leader. Like, he's into everything. I mean, he'll be over there pushing teammates during special teams when he's not involved in the special team. That's a good quality to have. Loved having him around here last year, even though he's on the practice squad. So all those things we like. It's just the play's got to show up and somebody's got to surface for us to decide which way we're going to go.
Couple more, I know Sam, Nate, and, okay, 4 more. Go ahead, Sam.
Steve, I know that Chris is a veteran, he's been in your system for a long time, but at what point do you start to worry about his preparedness for the season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Chris is any different than any other player that misses the entire camp and then has to play. It's tough. I mean, you certainly can't expect that particular person as good as Chris is to play every down, and then you worry about injury. Is the body ready? Chris always keeps himself in good shape, but football shape's different. So hopefully we can get him back, right? And then when that happens, we just have to figure out how to go about it.
Steve, with Malik Herring, you know, how has he maybe gone from getting experience last year to what he may be showing in these first couple of years?
Yeah, so the biggest compliment from Malik is that we've done the same thing with him and asking him to play a bunch of different positions. I mean, he plays inside tackle, even on some first and second down plays. He's certainly out there at end. So that's a compliment right there. If you asked him, I don't know if you guys got a chance to talk to him after the game, but he would have liked to have a couple of plays back because he really had an opportunity to make some big plays for us. But I think normally he would do that. He was just off a little bit. And so if he can rally this week and make those kind of plays, I think that'd be good for him.
Does Jones's absence change how you approach the 53-man roster construction, maybe having to keep an extra interior guy there for the start of the season?
Yeah, that'd be a better question for Brett as they figure out the numbers. I've just got to look at it in terms of who's available for us to play when we get to game day 48. That's probably a better question for Brett.
Last one, Tony.
Kind of goes along that line, but if Chris isn't here right now, Charles is going to be out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you have, if this is the group of guys you have, minus Chris and Charles, is it, you need someone else? Or you guys?
Well, the minus Charles, the minus Charles part of it, I can honestly say I've gone down that road. I'm helpful on the other one. I mean, hopeful on the Chris one. Now, should that not be the case, then we basically would be function about how we were now, minus Charles.
Is that enough?
I hope so. It'll have to be, right? It'll have to be. We'll have to find a way to do it. It'd be, you know, when things like this happens, you kind of play it off a little bit as if we got hurt in the game. You know, very similar. We have a little bit of advantage of knowing ahead of time, but we'll stay hopeful. Well, those. Is that it? Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you enjoy the heat.
How are you? Go ahead.
It's clear that Shane's starting to get some more opportunities. What strides have you seen him taking that has made him earn those?
Yeah, you know what? For me, it's been really neat watching him grow, coming in last year, not knowing him, and just seeing where he's been as a player, as a person. Learning this offense has certainly helped. Being in that room with Pat. So now, I mean, the off season, the preseason games, it's all about opportunities, and you know, Coach has a great way of just going through those type of battles at all positions, and I think you know. The competition brings out the best in everybody, and you see that with Shane. He gets a chance last week to do that and goes in and plays well, and you love being able to see guys have success when they, behind the scenes, they put in all this work and they do all this stuff behind the scenes in practice all last couple of years, and now to get an opportunity, he's played well.
Coach, who's your fastest wide receiver?
Wow, put me on the spot.
We used to always talk about Tyreek and McComb.
Yeah.
So now we have a group. We've seen some speed in the preseason. So who's the fastest?
Well, I can tell you who's going to say he's the fastest. MVS.
Okay.
He's going to say that. I know that for sure. But there's probably about 2 or 3 other guys in there that are going to be right there with him. So I don't know football fast versus the clock fast at the combine on the track, et cetera. But I think we have some good speed out there that can take the top off. It can affect defensive coverages with the different types of cover 2 and cover 4 shell they want to play. And you know, Tyreek, you just mentioned Tyreek. I mean, that's another level speed that this league really doesn't have. Some guys may say that, but Tyreek's different level. So we really like the guys we have and the speed we have.
Matt, in terms of getting him ready for the Lions game and the rest of the games, is it important to you that Pacheco play against Cleveland on Saturday?
Yeah, I think, you know, in the end, when Coach gets together with us and talks through all the depth chart stuff and who's playing, who's not playing, who's doing this, who's doing that, I think the guys would tell you, Pacheco would probably tell you, yeah, it's important to get hit a few times. And so, but there's always you want to make sure that, you know, for him, not being hit yet in practice, per se, and going in there for the first time. I mean, we've all seen him get hit pretty good. I think he can handle several hits. So whatever coach ends up doing, it doesn't affect him really either way for week one. But I always think it's good to get a couple hits in early before you get to the season.
Prince is a guy who at times during camp, when those days Clyde was out, he was running with the ones guys. And now it looks like he's kind of at the bottom of the depth chart. Is something happened with him, something you saw or didn't see with him?
No, nothing's happened. I think early on, you want to be able to see, especially in OTAs, you get guys that come in and there's no pads and it's more passing. So you want to be able to see what can he do in the pass game. And now naturally you get back into whether it's the start of training camp till now, there's movement throughout. There's different guys in all different positions that get opportunities. And as a rookie, you know, the volume starts to hit you a little bit, and it can slow you down. And I think for him, that's not the case as much as it is just the fact that we have a great room of running backs. There's great competition, and we're trying to give all the guys opportunity in different spots, which Deneric's doing a really good job of learning this offense and just continuing to grow.
Do you foresee, like, if everyone's healthy, a game where you need 7 wide receivers or you use 7 wide receivers in a game?
You know, for me in my position, I look at those guys and we look at them that they're all talented in different ways. And, you know, Coach Reed and Brett will get together and talk through every week, whether it's, you know, 5, 6, 7 guys, and whatever it is, that's what we roll with. So that's how our wide receiver coaches are, myself, et cetera. Those guys, that is a very competitive room with a lot of different types of talent. So whatever they end up telling us we have on that particular Sunday, we'll roll with.
Just to follow up on that, like running backs will say that, hey, the more carries they get, they feel like you know, they get into a rhythm. I just wondered if you thought that was the same for wide receivers.
So some guys, they want the football early, it gets them going. You know, you get a couple catches, but I think the receiver position's maybe a little bit different. In some ways, running back, they just want the ball. They want to get hit. They want to get their legs going, get protection going. Wide receiver-wise, they don't care. I mean, there's so many times where a guy doesn't get recognized, but he does such a great job of clearing a guy out on a post route, opening up a deep cross. And so if you're doing that on tape, you might not have a catch, but you're getting recognized in meetings. And so whatever it is, if you're helping the team win, we want you on the team.
Speaking of that sort of rule, what do you see from Justin Watson?
Same thing that we've seen since the day he's got here last year. Somebody that knows where to be at every play, he's gonna play fast. He's in the right spots at the right time, and so now again for him it's just a matter of continuing to grow with the timing with Pat, certain routes, making sure that Pat and him are seeing things the same way. And again, all of those guys are a little bit different, and I think that's what makes that room so special is they're not all the same. They're all very different, and he brings a great element of speed, knowledge, and experience to our offense.
It seems like you guys have some tough decisions to make, wide receivers 5 through 8. How do you wrap your head around that, and what role will you play in that process with Brett and Andy?
Yeah, I'll give my honest opinion on all those guys when the time comes. I think it's been a really good camp for those guys. There's some guys that have come in and shown that they've been able to take the playbook on right away, not make the same mistakes twice. And that's one of the things that I mentioned before is we look for that. Like who keeps making the same mistakes? Who has the ability, do you see a ceiling with them with where they're at talent-wise, or do they have the ability to grow and develop? But one thing they've certainly done, and that's a credit to Coach and Veach, is brought in a lot of really good guys that in the end, I wish everybody can make this team. You do, and that's your goal as a coach, is to develop them so that if they don't make this team, it's a small fraternity and they're able to go somewhere and help somebody else out and be thankful for their opportunity here.
You had Michael Perine around last year, but what have you learned about him? What has kind of shown out this year during training camp?
Well, you look at him last week, and he had some nice little runs in there where you saw some smooth transition after he got the football, caught your eye a little bit. And he's somewhat of a quiet kid in the meetings and when he's out there at practice. But, again, somebody that does what he's supposed to do, and he's very coachable. probably more than anything is just, again, opportunities growing. The facet of running back is everyone thinks they're running the football, but you got to be able to protect. In this offense, you got to be able to catch the football as well. And so running the football is very important. And when you can do all three of those, it's going to give you a great chance to make the team and succeed. And he's done a really good job so far.
Last one.
As you guys start to zero in on preparation for the opener on September 7th, are you preparing as if Kadarius Toney will be available, or do you have a contingency built in?
You always have contingencies for so many different situations. I mean, even just as you talked about numbers of wide receivers, but we want to be able to prepare. We just listen to whatever, Rick, Burkholder, Coach Reed, Veach say. We have a plan for that, and then you have to have a plan in many different ways so that you don't get caught either way. You know what I mean? So, hey, he's 100% full go. Let's go. We have that plan. He's not ready. Okay, we got that contingency plan. But whatever they tell us, we roll with, and that's a part of Coach Reed and the staff that we have of just trying to make sure that we don't get caught off guard. And I know Kadarius is working his tail off to get back, and that in the big picture, that's what matters most.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
All right.
Coach.
Yep. See you.
Hello.
Morning.
Okay,
still
guys,
morning.
what about for you, just training camp in St. Joe's over, your final preseason game coming up. When do you kind of elevate, escalate, get ready for the, Detroit on September 7th?
Well, each day we're working towards Detroit, working towards week 1. We just want to continue stacking days, pushing each other, competing out there. Even though camp is over, that still means that we still go hard. We still handle business out on that field. And excited for the upcoming season and, making plays with the team.
Like you missed a handful of days up at camp with the calf. I know that cost you some time last year. Just how are you health-wise? How do you feel?
I feel great. I'm 100%, just working back in. We got a great group of guys ahead of me, so, it's always next man up in that case. But right now I feel great. I had great training staff to help me get back and help me with the maintenance. So I feel good. The last preseason went well, so I'm excited about stacking the days.
Danny Shelton came in, a little bit better shape, lost a little weight. What have you seen, what have you noticed different about his game this year in training camp as we look toward?
Well, Danny Shelton is a crafty vet. He's going a couple years in, and he's a real vet. So, when he comes to camp, he comes ready. He comes in shape. He comes ready to play. Run, he's stout. He's a big guy. And even pass, he's a big guy who can move his feet, move his hands. So it's a lot of improvement I've seen from a lot of guys, but he's been working his tail off.
Mike, what expectations do you have for yourself, just beyond being a better player than you were last year?
Just constantly raising the bar, man. Being able to push my teammates, push myself. It's an important year for all of us. So, just playing with the guys and, just being a good teammate. Obviously you have your own individual goals and your own team goals. But my biggest goal is obviously going back to the Super Bowl, but really just being a good teammate and pushing this D-line.
Mike, you guys haven't had Chris around for this entire offseason. You in contact with him at all? Do you feel like anything good's going to happen on that?
Yeah, I talk to Chris probably like once every week, but he's a great guy. Got a lot of love from him. He's handling his business off the field. Right now, I'm really just kind of focused on what I got going on, what I can do. But he's in good spirits. Hopefully we get something done soon.
On the field, though, he makes it easier for a lot of you guys when you're out there playing. What's the difference? You haven't played a game yet with him. What's the difference without having him on that line?
Obviously it's a big difference, but it's always the next man up. When you gotta be ready when your number's called, and that's why we're professional athletes. That's why we're out here taking all these reps, and I think that's the biggest thing we can keep doing is just keep on stacking each day, have the next man ready, and keep on the repetition.
Mike, you got last year to learn Joe Cullen and how he operates, how he likes to teach certain techniques. From your perspective, what's it like watching him really push Felix, given that he plays your position and he's a rookie?
I think it's a great thing. He's a wizard, man. He knows what he's talking about. He coached tons of great Hall of Famers, great players. So, when you take information from him, you try to be a sponge. Even when he's coaching Felix, I take it in. I sit back and listen. Coach Joe is always throwing gems out there. And him pushing Felix is a great thing. Felix is responding great. He's been improving each day. So the coaching is, soaking in with him. So it's exciting to see what Felix has been doing, and we love Coach Joe.
Mike, what is your shirt?
Can you share one gem?
It's a defensive shirt. It stands for "We outwork our opponents." Wahoo.
Everybody's got one.
Defensive players, yes. Wahoo.
Wahoo.
What is one of those gems that Coleman sort of gives that you feel like helps you, or you're gonna believe it's gonna help you?
Well, I think his intensity, man. Just the way he coach, the way he he go about every day, and how he attack practice. That resonates with your players. That make your players want to play for you more, play for you harder. His energy. They say energy is contagious. So. You see Coach at the beginning of practice all riled up, yelling. I get us pumped up during stretch. So we always know who got the wagon and who don't.
Mike, it looks like you're going to be a bigger part of the pass rush than maybe you have been in past years. What are your expectations? What do you think you're capable of in that part of the game?
Just being effective, being disruptive. Being able to coordinate the rush with the rest of the D line, and I think that's a really big thing. to have a good pass rush, you all got to be as one, work as a unit. So just kind of continuing to hone in on that during practice and figuring out how we all gel together. And we got a bunch of new faces, so we're still working towards some things, working through some things. So we're just gelling together, and it's going to be a good year.
Who
Why
does
does
have the
fans
wagon
just
right
look
now?
at,
What was that?
Who does have the wagon right now?
So the wagon is really who begins the indie drills and who's going out first. And sometimes it's George Kalafdis, it's Derek Noddy, it's different players every day. Sometimes it's me, Malik Herring, Tershawn Wharton, all them guys.
Couple more.
Fans look at sacks as a measurement. What do you look at? You got some in-house measurements? Do you look at like PFF scores, any sort of thing you look at to measure yourself?
Really, I just measure how the D line play. Like I say, everybody has individual goals. Of course, everybody want to have double-digit sacks and look at PFFs, but I think it's more effective when the D line as a whole is rushing as one. That's when things really get to gelling. That's when you can start winning your one-on-ones. So I think I just look at how we play as a whole, man. Like I said, we got to be as one, and it's important that we continue to rep that.
If we don't get a chance to talk to you before game week, did you play your hometown team here coming in?
Yes, sir.
What are your memories as a Lions fan growing up, if you were, and what's this going to mean to you?
Oh, it's a
You got
big
any
game.
friends coming down or anything?
Yeah, I got a bunch of friends and family. It's a big game. I'm excited for. This is like a dream come true. You always, dream about playing on, Sundays or Thursday night, but just going against the hometown is a little more sweeter. I'm from Detroit. Grew up a Detroit fan base kid. Pistons, Tigers, Lions, Red Wings, all of them teams. So I know they got a crazy fan base themselves, and I've been going back and forth with my Detroit people, so it's going to be exciting. I'm
Go to
excited.
games with your
Are they
kids?
gonna be,
Absolutely, yeah,
are they
absolutely.
gonna be repping Detroit or the Chiefs?
Oh, when they come to Arrowhead, they repping the Chiefs, man.
Last one, Matt.
You mentioned that it's an important year, you mentioned the goals, this obviously a contract year for you too. How does that impact your mindset, as far as what your goals are when you approach the year?
Obviously, there's clearly a different approach for me, but really just honing in each week. Not looking down the road, not getting too antsy about what's going to happen with that. But I'm just focused on getting better each day. Continuing stacking these days. That's the biggest thing, and I'm excited for the future, man.
You want to stay in Kansas City, I assume?
Absolutely. And Kansas City's been great to me, my family. I love it. The city's awesome. You can't go wrong with the barbecue, man. You can't leave that.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
You must be hungry.
So the only person who is new to the report today is George, and he's sick. He's ill. That's why he didn't practice. Everybody else is the same. Nick Dickerson, Nick Jones, Nico, Sneed, and Kadarius.
Looks like Spags mentioned Felix left for a second, came back. He's
Have no idea. He's not on the report.
What do you feel like to get out there with the no yellow jersey on anymore? You feel like you're back?
I don't feel like I'm back. Just I was back out there when I was at St. Joe's. I felt like I was comfortable working with the guys, just being able to get as much out as I can.
Coach hasn't said yet whether you're going to play on Saturday. Are you wanting a few snaps just to get prepared for, obviously, the Lions on September 7th?
You know, for sure, I'm always ready. You gotta stay ready, so you don't gotta get ready. For me, just waiting. If my number get called or not, I'll be prepared though.
Are you glad that they've kind of taken it slow? Do you appreciate that? Because I'm sure you'd have been back going full go earlier, but do you appreciate the fact that they've kind of throttled you back?
Absolutely. You know, since I wasn't cleared, and I couldn't just get out there in the fire, but whatever I could do to maintain that shape and to keep up to tempo, I was going to do it. And coaches allowed me to do that, and I'm thankful for them.
Now that you're in the red jersey, it seems like you're okay. As you think back and the beginning of the offseason, not being able to participate, how tough was that, just having to see your guys practicing even like during OTAs and not being able to do that now that you finally can?
You know, it's really tough when you love to compete. For me, I love to compete, and I love the game. So it was hard watching that, but for the most part, just finding ways to get better, and that was in the classroom as well.
There were 20 games last year, not counting even the preseason. What did you learn about what it takes to make it through a full NFL season as a running back, since you've never played that many games and hadn't ever played at this level?
I said what it takes. Takes the mental toughness and to be able to find a routine to maintain the shape of your body. For me, just finding older guys to ask them questions, pick their brains about how to take care of their bodies. For me, that's what I love doing because I love talking about the game and taking care of myself. So the guys, they always look out for me, and they hook me up with somebody. If it's somebody, if not, just cold tub, hot tub, get in that routine.
Isiah, we'll get Perine in a second here. What have you learned about him as you've gotten to know him? What do you think he brings to the room?
Definitely great. He's a great man, father. You know what I'm saying? So guys got families to feed, so we're leaving it all out there. And you know what I'm saying, just bringing it to the table day by day, working hard, just is developing. That's all you can do at this level is get better day by day, and that's what coach is looking for from us.
Isiah, how do you feel that this year you may be better? I mean, last year you had that bulldozer mentality. I'm going to hit anybody who's in my way. But this year, you know, you don't want to get hurt. You're catching the ball more. You're a big part of the offense. What do you think this year you want to do a little bit elevated from last year?
Be more flexible. For me, that's the word I want to use because taking care of my body, as I said before, being able to stretch a lot more, just finding ways to be looser so I could be more explosive out there.
Even though you couldn't get hit and couldn't participate in all the drills, were you able to, do you feel like you were able to, during the last month, get better at pass protection, route running, some of the finer details of the things that will still help you come September 7th?
Absolutely. Just day by day, taking it day by day, and then being fully locked in and willing to do it. I'm willing, and I love competing, like I said. So if you love it, you know, it don't get no better than that.
What are some of the areas you feel like you made the most growth?
Being a leader. I'm not the guy that's out there as much as I was, but you know what I'm saying? Vocally, I was out there within the camp, but now I'm getting back out there more so vocally.
Are there any special treatments that you did to try to become more flexible, like yoga? I know you mentioned stretches, but is there anything that changed that you're doing now that maybe you weren't doing last year that's different?
Like I said before, it's just finding ways to get better. And for me, just working with the stretch massage therapist and, you know, allowing them to tell me this muscle was a little tighter than this one, just finding those little muscles that's able to allow me to open up more.
Are you paying attention
No
to
Larry.
some of the stuff going on with the running backs, right? You know, contracts, not Jonathan Taylor's, I guess, they're traded. I know you're new to the league, but is this something that's on your radar about, like, what the position's getting paid and kind of how it's going?
No, sir. I don't really worry about that. Right now, I'm just focusing on my health and being able to help the team be better when it's time for me to get out there on the field. And time is here, and I'm ready to roll.
Isiah, everybody wants to get better year over year, but from your perspective, where do you see Pat getting better?
In my perspective, Pat just, you know, the team changes every year. So, you know, you're the guy with the ball in your hands every play. And just being a leader, you got to be a leader. And you know, like I said, you're the QB, and you need guys to follow behind you with things he's been doing, and we look up to him, and that's, you know what I'm saying. All we know is win, so that's what we know.
When you got drafted, you pretty famously said you were here to take a grown man's job. You've got that job now. You kind of are that grown man. Do you feel like it? I mean, does your mentality change now that you're in that spot?
I'm just unsatisfied. I find it to be. I find like it's more to be done out there, and day by day, just that's how I get better. And whatever is next for me to work on tomorrow, I'm gonna figure that out as soon as we get in this meeting to pinpoint that to work on to get better tomorrow.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Bob.
you.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
So what, in your conversations with coaches, I mean, what is it you're still working on as you look toward that roster cut down next week?
Just to be consistent. I feel like just keep coming out in practice, finding little things I can work on. Just being sharp in pass pro, I feel like a lot of guys don't realize how valuable that is. Having a big time quarterback back there, just being able to protect them and stuff like that. So I feel like if I can do that, that'll help me making a roster. So.
What's different? You were on the team last year, so mostly on the practice squad. But what's different this year? How much more comfortable do you feel in the offense, and how much more prepared do you feel like you're at a challenge for that roster?
Well, last year I came in, it was already the playoffs and stuff like that. So just learning the roster in and out, learning the playbook in and out. I feel like I got a better understanding of it now, as far as just coming in OTAs, having a training camp. And that's been a big help, just having a lot of guys who was here last year helping me with the playbook and just learning and just being able to come in and practice it as well.
Having bounced around and been with a couple teams, what would it mean for you to make this particular roster?
Yeah, last year was a pretty crazy year for me, as far as just being on teams. Was on the Eagles for a week, and then with Miami the rest of the week, the rest of the year I meant. So it was just nice to be able to come here at the end of the season, big time program, big time coaching staff. So I'm just it'll be an honor pretty much.
What was it like coming in? What was it like coming in at the end of the season and being here for that Super Bowl run?
Just kind of crazy. I didn't think they would do something like that. So my agent, just talking to my agent and stuff like that, he pretty much he was like, don't sign back with Miami because you got a nice opportunity here, and pretty much that's how I got here. So I've been enjoying it ever since, man. Just taking in everything, taking it day by day, just working my tail off.
So how do you view this last preseason game? What is important for you to show the coaches?
Just what I've been showing them, just showing them I got that mentality, that I'm going to give it everything I got every single play. So that's all I can keep doing.
Given you're a veteran now, Michael, how different was camp this year for you, and where do you feel like training camp maybe helped you get to where you are now?
Just coming in, it's my fourth camp. So just me just getting reps and continuing to get better at every single rep. Not being satisfied. I feel like a lot of guys get satisfied, but me, I just continue to work and just learn, work my craft, and I just feel like they make a great player.
Isiah just basically said kind of the same thing, that even though he's a starter, he feels unsatisfied. Is that kind of a mentality in that group amongst all those guys?
I mean, all the guys in our running back room come in and work every day. Clyde, Jet, D. Prince, Pacheco, everybody works, man. So I just feed off those guys. We feed off each other. And I feel like, man, you continue to do that, man, that'll make a great room.
Well, Michael Danny said yesterday he watched the Super Bowl from the stands. Were you the same way last year?
No, I wasn't in the stands. I was on the sideline.
Oh, you're on the sideline?
Yeah.
Like, what was the experience like?
It was nice, man. That was my first time, being in a Super Bowl. So just getting there, seeing how they were practicing and just being detailed in their craft and how the whole week went was just amazing. So it was pretty cool, man. It was a good opportunity. I can't wait hopefully I can get a chance to get back.
Couple more. All right, we're all good. Let's
Thank you.
wrap it
Appreciate you.
there.
No doubt.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.